Have you ever imagined a life where your happiness doesn't depend on love or attention from others? A world where longing glances, missed calls, or miss you texts don't dictate your emotional state. This isn't a mythical tale from a distant past, but a reality you can now achieve. Stoicism, an ancient yet profoundly relevant philosophy, offers invaluable lessons on finding peace and happiness. This article will explore how this philosophy can transform how we love and live, enriching our lives and relationships in the most unexpected ways. Join us on a journey of discovery, where emotional independence and self-improvement are not just goals but keys to a fulfilling and meaningful life. True happiness doesn't come from external validation. In modern society, many of us gauge our self-worth based on the reactions and attention we receive from others, especially in personal relationships. However, Stoicism offers a different perspective, focusing on controlling our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Consider the story of Sarah, a young woman living in Los Angeles. Sarah often felt insecure and dependent on her boyfriend's attention to feel valued. She felt anxious and unhappy whenever she didn't receive "miss you" texts or caring calls. However, when Sarah began exploring Stoicism, she realized she needed to change her perspective on happiness. Sarah started focusing on what she could control: her thoughts, actions, and reactions. She spent time meditating and reading about Stoic philosophy. Sarah began to understand that true happiness comes from within, from being content with herself and her achievements. She no longer relied on others' attention to feel valued. Stoicism taught Sarah that she could find true peace and happiness by controlling what was within her reach and letting go of what she could not control. She started concentrating on self-development, engaging in activities she loved, and finding joy in everyday moments. This shift enriched her life and helped her build healthier, more meaningful relationships based on mutual respect. Through Sarah's story, we see that true happiness doesn't come from external validation, but from confidence and self-satisfaction. Stoicism helps us find inner peace and teaches us how to build a meaningful, fulfilling life regardless of external circumstances. Applying Stoicism in daily life. This video will guide you on living and loving the Stoic way, finding freedom and happiness from within. Instead of depending on others' attention and affection, you will learn to become a beacon of self-sufficiency and contentment. Consider the story of John, an American living in New York. After a failed marriage, John felt lost and believed his happiness depended entirely on receiving attention from others. However, as John studied Stoicism, he realized he needed to change his approach to life and love. John began by improving himself. He enrolled in personal development courses, participated in charity work, and started regular exercise. He also explored new interests like cooking and playing music, which brought him joy and rebuilt his confidence. Through his efforts and persistence, John felt stronger and no longer relied on others' attention to be happy. Stoicism taught John that by focusing on self-improvement and personal growth, he enriched his life and became more attractive to others. Confidence and self-contentment are qualities people are naturally drawn to, allowing John to form new, meaningful relationships without playing mind games or strategizing every move. By applying Stoic principles, John found inner freedom and happiness, creating a more prosperous and fulfilling life. His story demonstrates that when we focus on personal development and emotional independence, we can achieve true satisfaction and happiness, regardless of external circumstances. The significance of Stoicism in love and relationships. In love and relationships, many of us seek attention and affection from others, believing that only through this validation can we be happy. However, Stoicism presents a different viewpoint, focusing on self-improvement and emotional independence. Take the example of Emma, a young woman in America. After a painful breakup, Emma felt like her world had collapsed. She believed her happiness depended entirely on receiving love and attention from her ex. However, as Emma started learning about Stoicism, she realized that happiness should come from within herself. Emma decided to change her approach. She began focusing on self-improvement, learning new skills, and engaging in enjoyable activities. She spent more time with family and friends, finding joy in the small things in daily life. Through this, Emma gradually became more confident and realized she didn't need others' affection to feel happy. Stoicism taught Emma that becoming emotionally independent and focusing on self-improvement made her life more prosperous and attractive to others. Confidence and self-satisfaction are qualities people are drawn to. This natural attraction meant that others would miss her without resorting to psychological games or strategies. Emma's story shows that Stoicism is not just a philosophy but a practical tool for building healthy, meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Stoicism encourages us to seek emotional independence and focus on self-development, leading to a happier and more prosperous life. Emotional resilience in relationships. Stoicism teaches us to build emotional resilience and not rely on others' affections for lasting happiness. Instead of seeking external validation, we should develop inner strength and independence. Consider David, a young man living in San Francisco. David always felt he needed a relationship to be happy. After several failed relationships, he felt exhausted and decided to explore Stoicism. Applying Stoic principles, David focused on building his emotional resilience. Instead of relying on others' affections for happiness, he learned to be content with himself. He started engaging in personal development activities like yoga, meditation, and reading about Stoic philosophy. These activities brought David peace and strength. David also began forming relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. He realized that instead of seeking attention and affection from others to fill a void, he should focus on self-improvement and becoming a better friend and partner. This approach helped David build healthier, more sustainable relationships. David's story shows that emotional resilience is not about being indifferent, but facing your emotions and not letting them control your life. Stoicism encourages us to develop inner strength and build relationships based on mutual respect rather than dependence or fear of loneliness. Stoicism is not just a way of life, but a powerful tool for building a happier and more meaningful life. By focusing on self-development and building emotional resilience, we can achieve true satisfaction and happiness, regardless of external circumstances. Creating a meaningful life. Stoicism helps us recognize what truly matters and focus on living by our values and virtues. This requires deep self-reflection and a commitment to live authentically. Consider the story of Emily, a young woman in Boston. Emily always felt she was chasing societal standards and others' expectations. She strived to achieve external accomplishments like a high-level job, a beautiful home, and perfect relationships. Yet, Emily still felt empty and unhappy. When Emily began exploring Stoicism, she realized she had overlooked her core values and virtues. She changed her lifestyle and focused on what mattered to her. Emily started by identifying her core values: honesty, kindness, and gratitude. She committed to living by these values, even when it required sacrifice and facing challenges. Emily spent time in self-reflection, asking herself tough questions. What do I truly want in life? And what makes me happy and fulfilled? Through this process, she discovered true joy came from helping others and contributing to the community. Emily began participating in charitable activities and helping those less fortunate. She also realized that pursuing external goals did not bring lasting happiness. Instead, Emily focused on personal growth and creating meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. She spent more time with family and friends, building genuine and lasting connections. Emily's story shows that creating a meaningful life is not about external achievements, but living according to our values and virtues. Stoicism helps us focus on what truly matters and create a rich and meaningful life. Nurturing independence and emotional resilience. We must focus on self-development and challenge our perceptions to nurture independence and emotional resilience. Stoicism encourages us to practice self-awareness, gratitude, and present-moment focus. Consider the story of Michael, a man in Chicago. Michael used to rely heavily on others' recognition to feel satisfied and confident. After a challenging career, he felt lost and lacked confidence. However, when Michael began applying Stoic philosophy to his life, he found a new path for self-development. Michael started with self-awareness, spending time each day reflecting on his thoughts and feelings. He kept a journal and participated in meditation activities to understand himself better. Through this process, Michael realized that many of his negative emotions stemmed from outdated and inaccurate perceptions of himself and the world around him. Next, Michael practiced gratitude. He noted 3 things he was grateful for daily, from small moments like a cup of coffee to significant achievements at work. This practice helped Michael focus on positive aspects and nurture a peaceful and happy mind. Finally, Michael focused on the present moment. Instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, he learned to live fully in the present. He engaged in activities he loved, like playing music and sports, and enjoyed every moment of life. Michael developed independence and emotional resilience through this process and became more confident and content. He no longer depended on others' recognition to be happy, but found peace and happiness from within. Michael's story illustrates how Stoicism can help us nurture independence and emotional resilience. We can build a peaceful and robust life by practicing self-awareness, gratitude, and present-moment focus, living naturally and accepting change. Stoicism emphasizes that life is constantly changing, and we must accept this change naturally. We can find peace and strength by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Consider the story of Jessica, a young woman in Seattle. Jessica always felt overwhelmed and anxious about life changes. She often tried to control everything around her, from work to relationships, but this only increased her stress and fatigue. When Jessica began studying Stoicism, she realized she needed to change her approach to life. She started learning to accept change and understand that some things were beyond her control. Jessica focused on what she could control: her attitude, choices, and reactions to events. Jessica began applying Stoic philosophy to her daily life. When faced with changes or difficulties, she no longer tried to control everything, but instead focused on how she reacted and faced challenges. She practiced gratitude and focused on the present moment, recognizing that change is a natural part of life. A specific example is when Jessica lost her job. Instead of panicking and trying to control the situation, she used this time to learn new skills, explore job opportunities, and even start a small business project. By accepting and adapting to change, Jessica overcame difficulties and grew stronger. Jessica's story shows adaptability and acceptance of change are essential to Stoicism. Instead of controlling everything, we should focus on what we can change: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. This way, we can live a peaceful and robust life. embracing suffering and failure as natural parts of life. Stoicism teaches us that suffering and failure are inevitable parts of life. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, we should view them as opportunities to grow and learn, becoming more robust and resilient. Consider the story of James, a young entrepreneur in New York. James started his business with passion and hope, but unfortunately, his company soon faced difficulties and had to shut down. This failure left James feeling devastated and lost. He began doubting his abilities and felt stuck. James came across Stoicism during this challenging time and decided to apply its principles to his life. James started viewing failure not as an end, but as a valuable lesson. He asked himself, "What can I learn from this experience? And how can I improve from here?" James realized he needed to change his approach to business and life. He analyzed past mistakes, learned from them, and planned future projects. James also focused on developing personal skills, from time management to communication. James gradually overcame difficulties and rebuilt his confidence through perseverance and a learning spirit. He realized that suffering and failure are natural parts of life and that we can learn much from them. Instead of letting them bring us down, we can use them as stepping stones to move forward. James's story demonstrates how Stoicism helps us face suffering and failure positively. By accepting them as inevitable parts of life, we can find the strength to overcome and grow from them. This makes us more resilient, enriches us, and gives us meaning. Conclusion: Stoicism offers a profound and meaningful approach to life. Through the stories of John, Sarah, David, Jessica, Michael, and Emily, we have seen that this philosophy helps us find peace and happiness within, build healthy relationships, develop emotional resilience, and face suffering and failure positively. We have learned that true happiness does not come from external validation, but from confidence and self-satisfaction. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, accept life's natural changes, and find meaning in challenges and difficulties. By nurturing independence and emotional resilience, we enrich our lives and become more attractive to others. Confidence and self-satisfaction are qualities people are naturally drawn to, helping us build meaningful relationships based on mutual respect. Apply Stoic principles to your daily life. Focus on self-development, practice gratitude, live fully in the present moment, and face difficulties with a learning spirit. Remember, true happiness and satisfaction come from within. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploring Stoicism and its valuable lessons. Continue to follow and grow with us by hitting the subscribe button, never to miss any exciting content. We hope you find peace, happiness, and meaning through the shared Stoic principles. Remember, the journey towards a Stoic life is about seeking personal satisfaction and fulfillment and becoming a beacon of self-sufficiency and contentment, enriching your life and those around you. Let's explore, grow, and live a fuller and more meaningful life together.